Okay, so I'm going to be showcasing to you guys how I swing. This is my chart right now. This is just a daily chart. What we can see is that I know there's a lot of here. Give me a second. Make it very simple. We'll clean up this chart. Make it look really nice. So on the daily, when we look at the daily, we can see that we are in strong bearish momentum. Because all we have to do is just see, like, we've been respecting this downtrend that we have right here. Very simple, very clean. So what we can see right here is we tried to break past this downtrend we had, but we did reject it, and it looks like we had a double bottom right here, but we went and actually filled this wick. So we created a lower low essentially because the wick went and got filled. So we're coming back, but there's another one that's left. So it looks like we're more than likely going to keep on with this bearish momentum that we've had in the daily time frame, continue on and create more lower lows. Look at the weekly, we can see that too. So where should we be expecting some resistance on the weekly? We see that if we look left, we also see right here there was a rejection right here, and if we see there was one tap right here before we went up, we can see also right here. So this is a zone, and personally I like to use rectangles to highlight these zones. I can see more, I can understand and visualize more. So it looks like when we draw this zone right here, we can see that we did actually end up touching it previously, but we had a rejection. Essentially we needed more liquidity to go and enter into this zone. So that is just by looking at the daily. We'll go now look at the 4 hours. So when we look at the 4 hour, we can see that recently what happened, we tried breaking past. This may have been a bullish flag for some people. They entered buys, but they got stopped out because they saw, oh look, we ended up bullish past the zone. Past the channel. And this could have been a retest, which means we're going to go up. So people could have bought here. They were like, oh my goodness, we're going to buy. But look what happened. Look. Place this right here. Give me a second. Let me this color. When I sort my support and resistance, I always make it black, easier for me to see. But we can see this is a major zone too, because we look left, you can see how many times we touch this zone. Numerous times. It is a major zone that we see. Very simple. We touched it here. If we truly wanted to, we can put another one right here. But this is technical analysis, just support and resistance, a very simple naked price action chart. So right now for me it is 11 p.m. so one more hour until London open. This is hour before London, and it's Wednesday, so markets are flowing really nicely. I trade Asian sessions, so I'm going to be breaking down the analysis I had on my trading. So on the 4 hour, I saw that we were going up. We may have been pulling up, and of course what I like to say is that the market moves in waves. So we had a double touch on this channel right here, but we did end up coming down, and so I took my sells here and for Asian session, because what I saw was that we seemed to fail to create a higher high over here. So when I look down and I go down and break into lower time frames, I entered this, I remember clearly, on the 5-minute time frame, and what I saw is that we recently broke past, even extended all the way here. We truly wanted to, I believe, right here. But make it very simple for you guys, what I did was I literally just went like that. I saw that we broke past the trend line, which is why I entered on the retest of the trend line right here. So we scroll, we see retest, and to make it simple for you guys, I scalp. I do 10 pips. Swing trading is when I hold one position from one zone to another zone, in case I see that my scalp can continue going down with momentum. So as you can see here, what I put down was my 1 and 2. So these were the other zones that I saw we were possibly going to, hence why I put my take profits. They were all in 10 pips, but I put them perfectly because I knew that we were more than likely going to touch here. I would take half of my profits here before letting 1 or 2 buy down to the second zone. So I entered all here. Of course, what I like to say is that we tend to move in waves. The market moves in waves. So touched, broke, had a touch again, touched right here. And so this is a liquidity grab. Essentially, what happens here is that people are like, oh my goodness, we're gonna go up. And it screws a lot of people over because they'll take some buys here. But in reality, this push up is to make sure that some people hit their stop loss so that banks and institutions can get the best price before selling off and going down. Look at this big drop that we had all the way down here. You know what I mean? So you have to keep that in mind, and that's why I only move my stop loss, yes, sorry, to break even once I'm in around 5 pips. And so we touched here. Although I was in 5 pips, I had a strong gut feeling that we were more than likely going to keep going down, because I saw that this right here was another key level. And so it made sense that we were touching here. So when I saw this, I was really calm. I was like, okay, we're going to keep going. So as you can see here, my first position, when it hit my take profit, is riding down the simple wave before we rejected and pushed up to gain more liquidity. So I see that, and I held, and until my positions when it hit my second take profit setup that I had on the first zone. So because I saw this momentum and we were in a downtrend, like stated earlier, and I showed my analysis on simple one right here, you can see that we are in a strong bearish momentum. Very simple, just by looking at the candlesticks. This guy now, because we now understand, we chose where the market's gonna go. So this, we break down into lower time frames. I like to look at the 5 minute for my entries. So I let it run. Very simple, let it run. And I put my zones here because when you look at the higher time frames, for example the 1 hour and the 4 hour, one of my mentors, wicks don't lie, he says this perfectly: the wicks do not lie at all. What we can see is that we retested this 4 hour zone which we had here, and what we can see is that we broke past, we left a huge wick which we needed to fill. We came back and we had a retest. So in simple terms, very easy. What is going on? Give me 1 second. So very easy. We broke, essentially retested, had to come down, retested, and more than likely gonna keep going down in a bearish momentum. Although I saw that this was a channel that we may have kept on continuing going up, this is a very, very strong indication that we did break this channel. So this no longer is valid. Done. Deleted. Done. So where do I see? I put some previous market boxes over here because I do a top-down analysis. I go from a higher time frames and I look to see where we may experience some rejections. That's how I trade, just off solely on price action. So we see that we recently came and touched here, and it makes sense because look, we had a retest again on the zone that I put. Remember how I put 1 and 2? And the reasons why I changed these colors because they are my targets for when I have positions. So when I do my top-down analysis, I automatically say, okay, I see sells, so I'm going to see if I enter positions here, where do I see us running to in case my scalp turns into a swing. So I saw this, and that's why I put them there. It's just my preference. It's so that I can visualize and see where the market's going. Very easy. So like I said earlier, black is for my support and resistance, and I put usually gold or orange or whatever just right here so I can see it. So we broke past this, had a retest. We had a double bottom though, so we'll see. But we did, if we look at the wicks, we did create a lower low with the wicks. See that? So it really depends how we act. Sometimes in London session we have a reversal then from what was trending in Asian, or sometimes we just keep going down. This may just be a liquidity pool for London session and keep going down. We don't know. All we know is that we have strong bearish momentum the daily because market moves in waves, but there's also this wick that was left here. So we have to see. We don't know 100%. We don't know. We'll have to wait. But that was my simple breakdown and my analysis. I don't trade London session anymore because when I was checking out my charts, I noticed that in London I was 50-50 with my trades. As we can see here, my Asians, I'm usually 100% correct with my trades. I haven't lost in a while with Asians. So you can literally see here, look. Asian session, Asian session. Keep going back. Do I have any more? No. I guess I'll just a couple days. So you can tell positions have profited if you guys didn't know, just by second, if the arrows are pointing to each other. If they're pointing away, like as we can, this one I originally entered here. I took them as sells. Price moved up a bit, but I wanted to get better sells because it wasn't enough confirmation for me to enter. So my original analysis was that we were going to fill this wick because this was the zone, this wick that I saw right here, and we did. So I was originally saying maybe I'll take my sells here, but I looked left and I saw that we were essentially touching this area numerous times before, which meant it was possible that we went up here, and I wanted to save myself from the possibly 3-pip drawdown that I was going to have. And you never know, because at this moment when I was looking at this chart without any of that, it looked like we were in an uptrend. So it may be possible that we would have broken past here, kept going, retested, and gone up. You know what I mean? So I knew that risk, and I took the risk of taking a sell because I saw that we were possibly gonna go down by looking at the higher time frame analysis. You know what I mean? So this is just something you'll train your eyes to see, and you can go forth from there. But this is how I scalp, and this is how I turn my scalp to swings. Of course, scalping is, swing trading, sorry, is what this video is about. But swing trading, people can hold their positions from hours to days to weeks. I know a lot of traders that even hold their positions for months. It really depends on how you like to trade in the market. There's so many ways to trade, and that's why we have monthly time frames. You know what I mean? That's why we have weekly, because there's so many different ways to trade. So we're not constricted to anything. It's just how you like to trade, what you enjoy. I personally like scalping because I'm in and out as soon as possible. I don't have to worry about, like right now, I don't have to be like, oh, I wish I held all the way here. I got what I wanted, and I got my 10 pips here, and I wanted to let one run because I knew it was possible that we would keep going down. And I saw, when looking at this chart before any of this happened, I saw that, oh, it's possible that we may go here. So that's why I put my take profit at the bottom here, because usually when we fill wicks, we go a bit lower. Go a tiny bit lower, but not all the time. It really depends. It's just something I've noticed, which is why I put my take profit a tiny bit lower, just so I could grab those extra tiny bits amount of profit. So I got an additional nearly 3 pips just because I moved it down a bit more from the wick. So it's small things like this that you'll find out, and the reason why I tell you is because you'll learn this from your journal, which is why I heavily emphasize having a trading journal. Trading journal is really important and very critical for your trading consistency. If I didn't have one, I definitely wouldn't have become a consistent trader. So you need to sit down, figure it out, and definitely just, it helps you ensure that you are on the right path of trading. Because if you don't have one, you won't be able to see what's been going right for you and what you've been doing to your account that's been negatively impacting you. So having a journal is key. It's a necessity, and if you guys want to keep moving forward with your trading career, you need to do it. And one of the apps that I recommend to use is OneNote. So OneNote is an application that I use. I didn't actually check text. Give me 1 second. OneNote, you guys know what it is. Just search it up. You can make columns and everything there, boxes, so that you can place your trades. I post my pre-market analysis, I post when I take my trade, and I post my after. And I essentially just write it all out. You guys can learn more in my book that I recently put out for free that includes everything and essentially all my trading techniques, everything that I do. And it showcases to you guys how I get trades like this on a daily basis, for example, in Asian session only, because that's what I'm right now. Until I feel more comfortable trading London and New York, I want to master my Asian session. And so New York is very volatile, and it's also extremely early for me. I have to wake up an hour early. I have to wake up at 4 a.m. to prep for the New York Open at 5. It's not something I like. Asian Open is very simple. It's at 4 p.m. I can just relax, do work, come to the session, sit down for 3 hours, then I'm done. You know what I mean? So these trades only lasted, let's see, probably an hour or so. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. So this was an hour from when I entered to exit, and then I knew I didn't have to watch this trade because I put my stop loss to break even for all these trades after 5 pips. So I was essentially at the point where I didn't have to worry like, oh my goodness, it may be possible that we're going to reverse and hit my stop loss. No, because I made a position that essentially was risk free and I didn't have to worry about it. So I just went away from my computer, came back, and I was like, okay, sweet, we're done, got my profits, and I'm out. You know what I mean? Done for the day. Don't have to worry about anything that happens after, only the time that I sit and watch the markets for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm not sure, I want to know your opinions on these types of video style, just breaking down how I trade in the daily market and what I do. I know this isn't an in-depth like how to scalp video, but it just showcased, sorry, not how to scalp. I keep thinking scalp. I know this isn't an in-depth video on how to swing trade, but it's the way that I swing trade when I do have swing trades, and I don't want to be putting out content that isn't real from my perspective and what I do. I'll have to learn more about it if I want to post more content on it, but essentially it's very simple. If you want to learn how to swing trade, let's go on the 4 hour. If you guys want to learn more, literally just look at higher time frame analysis, because higher time frames always prevail. What do we see here? We look left. What do we see? We see that there was rejections here. This is a key area. What's another key area that we see? You see another key area right here. Look, we had multiple touches here. So we recently broke past here. So we're more than likely going to possibly have a retest up here or right here. You never know. You never know what market's going to do. Maybe we'll push up here to gain more liquidity to keep going down. So we'll have to see. That's why it's really important to wait for candles to close. So we can see right here we had a major rejection. And right now price is going up and it's pre-market. So we usually have a pre-market push to set up for Asian session. I mean, not Asian session, sorry, for London Open. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to see. Like I said before, I don't trade the session anymore because I just get my 5 to 10% in Asian. So I'm done for the day. Very simple. And if you guys want to learn how I compound, I will be making another complete updated video on that, because the first one I made didn't really go into depth. I was just showcasing the power of compounding through Forex. So if you guys have any questions, please shoot me a message on Facebook. I also have a free education group there that showcases real content and essentially just a mini course for those wanting to learn Forex and intermediates that want to learn a different type of technique for trading and how I trade. So that will be different content than what I post here. This is just for the masses of people to look at and understand and see. So that as well. And I also have a course that's currently going out. It's live right now. You can get it at onlythemotivated.com/Forex. And this is a plug. Yeah, it is, because if I'm able to help you here and I'm able to showcase the content that I have here, imagine how much I would help you if we were actually doing one-on-one mentoring and etc. And no, of course, I don't post my profits with 100 lots throwing it out, and you know what I mean? But because there's a lot of people that scam doing that way, and they entice new traders by saying they make X amount of money. But if you're making over 100,000 a day, why would you want people to help you? I noticed that was one of the biggest things that pissed me off, and one of the main reasons why I made this YouTube channel was to help and serve other people. And essentially the mentorship is just payment for my time, because it's been a lot of time ensuring that the students are ready for real life market conditions like these. So if you guys are interested, today was March 15th, as you can see here. Look, March 14th. Let's look here just to make sure this is a live trade. Yep, March 14th. Oh yeah, and here literally shows live as well. So very simple. This is my hedging account. So essentially it's an ECN account. I talked about it in my previous video for beginners that wanted to learn how to trade. Having an ECN account is very important for scalpers like myself, sometimes even swing traders, because you can get the most amount of pips. Look at how small that spread is. You know what I mean? That's a really tiny spread, as opposed to some accounts that have huge spreads, maybe like up to like an actual pip. You know what I mean? So you want to give yourself the most advantages that you have, and I'll be making more content like this on a daily basis. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a very simple, in-depth video showcasing how I trade. If you want more content and more raw, uncut videos like this, Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be happily able to post out more and